We'll start with Neal. I guess firstly, preparing for a Springboks pack is probably one of the best in the world in terms of how they operate. What's the kind of keys towards trying to nullify them and really play the game you want to play?
Look, I think we set our stall out a few weeks ago in terms of where we know we need to take our set piece. So there's not many places harder in world rugby to come than the Springboks at Loftus. So I think it'll give us a good benchmark of where we are. But I think you have to be aggressive. You have to be competitive at scrum and at the line out and in the drive. If you come over here and roll over, you'll get murdered. So we got to make sure that we're aggressive, we're combative in all those aspects.
There's a few weeks to try and install that. Where have you seen the biggest areas of growth, particularly around that set piece game? And I guess, do you kind of sense that belief that this team can really match it with the Springboks?
Yeah, I think I sense real belief. As a group, we've been together probably just on 2 weeks. So cohesion is always the biggest thing that you're trying to build. So cohesion, timing. Pete and the guys from the Brumbies came in after obviously their last game. So yeah, look, I think we're in a really good place. I can't fault anybody. The effort's been unbelievable. The attitude, the intent to training's been unbelievable. So for us, we're just going to keep striving to make sure we get more and more cohesive. We just become better as a pack.
It's a fun one for me for now. Just a word on your debutant, Tom Hooper. I guess what did you know of him before coming to this Wallabies camp? What have you kind of made of his sort of work, sort of building into the Super Series and then getting selected to debut?
He's been unbelievable. Obviously, we've watched a lot of the Brumbies players, and Hoops hasn't played that much rugby. He's played. He had one or two little niggles, but he's been outstanding since he's come in. He's come in. He's a big lad. He's really physical. So yeah, we can't wait to see him go tomorrow. Like I said, his attitude has been brilliant. He's really dived into everything.
Moreno, did you have anything for Neal or Pete? If anyone else online wants to put their hand up, we can get to you as well. Anything online, Moreno? Mel, anything?
No, it's okay for me today. I'm leaving you to the Australian guys.
No problem. Mel, did you have anything?
Neal, hi, I'm Mel from AAP. I also had a question about Will Skelton. I just wondered, some would say that perhaps he hasn't performed as well on the international stage as he has for his French club. What have you sort of seen from him, and I guess what are your expectations for him for the game tomorrow?
Oh, look, I mean, he's been immense in all aspects. So his physicality, his size. Over the last 2-3 years, he's probably been one of the standout tight forwards in Europe in their French competition, which is a tough competition, and then in the European competition. So, they've won the European Cup 2 years in a row, and that pack's been built around him. So it's brilliant to have him. He's been great coming in. He's trimmed down a bit, and like I said about Tom Hooper, he's come in and had a huge impact on the group around, because he's a bloke who's been winning over the last 2.5 years. International rugby, it's a fresh start. What he's done previously doesn't really count for a lot moving into this sort of run of games now. What I can tell you about is just the impact that he's had since he's been in, which has been phenomenal.
Thanks. And for you, Pete, I guess, what's your experience been like? You guys sort of came into the most recent camp, a week sort of later, but how have you found, getting up to speed, I guess, with Neal and with Eddie, and, how things are tracking there in Pretoria?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's like Hat said, it's been a couple of weeks that we've been together, and there's been a lot of detail thrown at us, but we sort of shifted our mindset to the test tomorrow, and making sure we get all our detail ready for tomorrow so we can go out and perform.
And just a final one from me, James Slipper, when he spoke yesterday, said he was confident of playing. I just wondered, I'm guessing you guys have had the captain's run. Is he good to go?
Yes, Slips good. He trained with us, did the whole session, so you don't play 127, 128 tests if you're not a bloke who can back up. So yeah, he's ready to go.
Thanks very much.
Anything else online, guys?
Yeah, it's just a couple more from me, if no one else has any more. I was just going to say, just for Pete, as last year's spring tour was a bunch of sort of close games, a couple of sort of defeats not going your way. I guess what's been the sort of, how do you go about turning those close defeats into victories and start building momentum ahead of, World Cup, which is, rapidly approaching?
We haven't really focused on past results. It's a new squad, new staff, and everyone's just really focused on the task at hand, and that's the Springboks tomorrow. So, like Hat said, we're prepping well, and everybody's raring to go. Like Hat said, Hoops, new kid, he's all over his detail, and he's raring to go. So, it should be exciting.
I guess on Hoops and the debutants, there's a couple in that particularly coming off the bench, forwards wise. Do they just give sort of natural energy to this squad and really sort of kind of just find that sort of extra level as you try and prepare for what's going to be a pretty hostile environment on Saturday?
I think, again, without sounding like a soundbite, I like guys like Pete, guys like Quade Cooper, you've got people with 70 caps, people like Tom Hooper. I think because it's a fresh start for everybody, I think everybody's had that attitude. There's no real, Zane's come in and been brilliant, Carter Gordon, all of these sort of guys, the debutants, Richie Arnold. Everybody's come in with that same sort of mindset and that same sort of attitude. So it's not a case of the younger guys bringing energy. For me, what I've really been struck by is how much the senior players, guys like Pete, guys like Mike Cooper, Slips, Nick White, these guys, they're all the guys as well, bring in heaps of energy that no one's relying on any of the youngsters or any new caps to bring that. I think everybody's across that.
Anything else online, guys, before we bring back to the room?
I just actually had one more, if no one else.
Thanks,
Obviously, South Africa would be seeing like a few of their key men, Malcolm Marx for one, from their forward pack. Neal, I just wondered sort of what you make of the forwards. I guess it's an area that they've got such depth in, so I expect that you still expect them to be, I guess, as strong as ever.
Yeah, they've got some real problems, haven't they? No Malcolm Marx, but Bongi and Benani. So, look, they've got incredible depth. We know from a tight five point of view, we've seen it before, their bomb squad. We respect the South African pack immensely, South African forward play. That's why for us it's an exciting challenge to start with, to play this team, this pack of forwards, at this ground. It'll be probably the biggest challenge moving forward for us. So, yeah, we're excited about getting there. I don't think missing one or two key players is a big issue for them. Like you alluded to, they've got real depth, in their front five. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, for guys like Zane, for some of the guys who are making the debut, to experience Test rugby at altitude in Pretoria against the Springboks is a hell of a way to start. We can't wait to get going.